Broke but Happy, episode 11.
Da-da-da-da.
Who wants to explain what we're doing today?
So today we are going to be reviewing a Netflix TV show called Heist, which came out about maybe a year or two ago,
2021.
2021. But yeah, it's a TV show that talks about the most popular heist that happened in America and how they went down, and then the people that did it actually explained the story.
Yeah, so it highlights 3 specific stories.
Yeah.
The first one is just like this one girl. The main character is a girl.
Yeah.
Then the second one is this Cuban guy, and then the third one is this other guy from Kentucky.
There you go.
And we're each gonna talk about each one. Well, the reason we got into the show, you had already, Samia had already seen it.
But she never told us about it.
Yeah, and then Arby found it. He told me about it, and it was first recommendation, good recommendation ever.
Thank you. I've never gave you a recommendation since, but that's the first one. But
yeah, but it was good. I love documentaries, and the reason I like this one, is because there's a little bit of acting in it. Like they recreate it basically.
Yeah, which
everything
is a good
that happens, and then they also talk to the real people.
Yeah.
But the first 2 episodes, Samia's gonna go over.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Just go over the story actually. Yeah.
Well, wait. What would you give the show out of 10?
That's a good.
Or the whatever series out of 10?
I mean, there's only 6 episodes. I wish there was a little bit like more stories, but I'd say an 8. Just because I wish there was more stories, but I mean it's good overall.
Yeah, that's solid. I think.
It's solid.
I would give it
I think I 8 is fair.
9.
Yeah.
Because I only watched the first 2 episodes.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you got to speak into it.
Okay.
Put her mic up.
Only because I only watched the first 2 episodes and I liked it, and my episode was of Heather Township.
Could you say it first time?
Yeah, Heather. Don't know how to pronounce the last name.
Yeah.
But should we get into it?
Yeah, just get into it.
Okay, so for the first 2 episodes, again, it's about Heather. And basically how it all started was her job, she was a CNA, and it was devastating for her because people were dying. And so that got her into doing drugs and cocaine, which ultimately led her to meeting Roberto, the guy that kind of introduced her into the bad world, pretty much.
The bad side of Vegas.
Yeah, bad side of Vegas. And then she was working as a the reason that Roberto or they're so cute. The reason that she trusted Roberto was because she felt like the wealth, that she felt secure, love, and lust and all that.
Yeah. And
stuff. And then
he was manipulative.
He was very manipulative. He also had a record before this too.
Yeah.
The episode gets into that too. And then basically she worked as a security guard for this company Loomis, where they would take money to the ATM. And one of the days, they figured out the routes and everything, and basically planned a heist. They what's it called? I forgot. They took the money. She pretended to be an old lady, moved away.
Well, she got a job with
Loomis, yeah.
Loomis, yeah.
The safety, the security. And the reason they started was because the money was going away. She was actually just a broke 21 years old, pretty much. But they basically, ATM wrote down the way, and he actually hypnotized her. So because she was feeling anxious and stuff about it. So I thought that was a little
Well, yeah, the episode explains something about sex magic.
Yeah, I was gonna get into that. Yeah, sex magic, and then it was kind of weird, like the way they took that energy, how they talk about sex and stuff, and then used it to put that energy into making a heist. It's kind of weird, the tarot card reading and stuff.
Yeah.
But basically her thing was she wasn't gonna let him down either. So like they came up with this plan and kind of just he masterminded the whole thing, and she was a puppet basically. They also, but honestly, like I found like the way she wanted to live really like interesting. Like she wanted like a sane life, kind of like a regular life. Like she wanted to live in a farm with like pets and kids and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got from
the whole thing.
No, wait, talk about how it happened. Like what?
Like
so she was a driver.
Oh, okay. So basically,
You only wrote down the first episode. There's nothing about the second one.
Well, the second episode is pretty much how she got kind of.
Well, yeah, you gotta explain her sentence and shit like that.
So, basically, I'm getting so distracted by you guys looking at me.
And I like looking at your cat. He just jumped over onto your brother's desk.
Meow meow.
But
Oh yeah. So, but basically, again, I briefly mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
She got a security job, and then she was driving around Vegas and stopping to put money in the ATMs.
Yeah.
And there was 2 people with her that would kind of actually just go out and put the money away, and come out from a different different entrance or exit. So, as she like. They would have different routes for different days, and she memorized and wrote all of those down and shared it with Roberto.
So
Lise. And so then one day, like I think they were just like, okay, this is the day, and it was the day with the largest sum of money.
Yeah.
And it happened to be like where she moves away, like she drives off and goes to this like garage thing that I think that
they had planned out for.
Yeah.
to leave the car there, yeah.
To leave the car there and stuff. But so she picked him up or something, went to the garage, took all the money, and changed into a granny suit. And I think one part that got into like, kind of like, I don't know if the timing was accurate, honestly, but he was like, in an hour, you'll be in the face of all news. Yeah. You'll be the face of all news, and like that's literally what happened. Within an hour,
she was everywhere on the news.
She was everywhere on the news.
Well, he shipped the money too.
Yeah,
he had her like.
Yeah, the crazy part, they wouldn't check the money back then. Low. So so they just had.
Oh yeah, that's the thing about all these stories. They're all in the early 2000s or late 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
which there was no cameras and stuff like as much.
To
so it was way different, and
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if we mentioned that the reason we're talking about this is because we've covered like a little bit of the cheap people, like frugality, but there's also that side of people where they're willing to do anything for money.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what this is. These 3 stories are people that are willing to do crazy shit for money.
But honestly, from watching her episode, I didn't really get the money aspect. I got her wanting him to be proud of her.
Yeah, that is true. Because he was very
like luring, he like lured her in basically.
Yeah,
because she thought if she stole all the money for him, she would love her forever. Or whatever.
And she was expecting his love. I feel like more than like the money itself.
Didn't he have like a side piece too?
Yeah, I was gonna get into that too.
Yeah,
because they went. Where did they go?
To Amsterdam, no?
No, Miami.
Oh yeah,
Miami.
That's where.
And they were there for like 2 months now.
Yeah, and so, basically met her there, and then another part is how she was putting on the contact lens in the passenger seat, like the bottom, and that's all I can remember is like how she's like literally becoming a granny and like pretending to be wheelchair bound, and as soon as they get off, she's like normal and she's fine.
Yeah.
But the whole like first episode really like revolved around her.
Who's that?
I don't know. It sounds like someone screamed.
Yeah, like a little kid.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Revolved around just like their honeymoon phase, the money and everything, like the sex stuff. They kept on doing it, like
endorsing
put
it,
energy out. It was like a weird one.
I should try that.
Okay.
All right.
And then
so they caught a private jet to Miami, right?
Yeah.
That's what they did?
Yeah, private jet to Miami. Then after, didn't they skip like Costa Rica or some shit?
They were like on a boat, huh?
Mm-hmm.
No, they're like in a beach house and some shit.
I think that was still Miami.
No, it wasn't Miami. No, it was a country. I don't know where it was, but it was one like It was like a getaway house, kind of.
Because I do
Yeah.
remember
Denmark.
that.
Was it Denmark that they went to? I can't remember.
The only
I
thing I
don't know.
remember is he researched where there's no extradition to the U.S. because they were looking for her.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. No, wait. I feel like it was maybe
I thought it was Amsterdam the whole time.
Yeah, I think
No,
it
no,
was.
no. It wasn't No, they were in some part, like in a Spanish speaking country, and then, well,
Oh, I think it was Nicaragua.
was it? It was one
somewhere
of those-
down there.
Yeah, it was somewhere down there, or like Cuba or
Yeah, something like that.
Cuba or fucking I don't know, one of those Spanish speaking language countries.
Yeah.
Yeah. But ultimately, something happened between Roberto Solis and stuff, which they didn't really brush up on.
Oh, because they never found them.
Yeah.
So it was hard to like get more information out of them.
No, but what I'm saying, like, what happened between her and him? They had a kid together, obviously.
yes.
Well, yeah, she got pregnant when they were in that little getaway house.
Yeah.
And then
That's when she left, right?
She
She
yeah.
left like $18,000 in her
Mhm,
pocket.
she left.
Amsterdam. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then she met another guy there.
Well, she had the kid.
Yeah.
She had to
Right.
get-
Oh, yeah. She had the kid. Wait,
She
did
had
they end
changed
up
her
moving to
identity.
England or no? They never moved to England.
No.
So
I thought they did.
all right. So what happened? She escaped to Amsterdam. She changed her identity
Yeah.
she got an English woman's identity.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Donita or something.
Yeah,
like
some
that.
shit. And then
And the son too.
yeah, the son too. And then she changed her identity, and the kid was still young, so she was running out of money. So she decided to do
Prostitution.
prostitution and
Mhm.
stripping and shit like that
Yeah.
to survive.
And then
But then ultimately, it just got. Well, again, they kept the guy, like the guy that she met, like the dad, a secret, so we
Yeah.
don't know. They didn't really go much into that.
Yeah.
But honestly, like that's kind of wonder if he knew her life story, like.
I don't know if she ever told him.
She didn't like.
Or maybe once. Well, okay. So then
she didn't
eventually
mention.
she hates her life.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
She has a
Yeah.
10-year-old now. He's like
She
10 at
does.
that time.
That's when the friend. So she actually told a friend, and the friend found her. Like went on to like
yeah.
the FBI list,
Yeah.
found her, and it was updated literally 3 days ago. And she's like, should I warn her? Should I say something?
Yeah.
But at that point, she had already decided that
She was gonna go back.
she was gonna
Yeah.
go
Talk
back
to a
and
lawyer.
Talked to a lawyer in LA, and then well, then she flew back as an English woman,
Yeah.
just so she wouldn't get caught at the airport.
Yeah.
And then she made it to LA, and then she turned herself
Yeah.
in.
Then she went to Vegas.
Oh yeah, didn't she? Yeah.
Because
she
that's
went to
where
Vegas.
It
the crime was committed.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm stupid. Do you remember how many years she got? Because it said 22, but she got
13
less.
to 15.
Yeah. Because it
Yeah.
had said 20 to 25, but
But she turned herself in.
and so they gave her a little
Yeah.
But it said in the documentary that she's still paying off the debt.
debt. Yep, she's paying the.
I'm guessing her wages are being garnished.
Yeah, I think so.
She will. I didn't see that part where she's still paying off her
Yeah.
debt.
Yeah, it does say
She's-
that at the end, like just
She's
words.
gonna pay
Oh,
off
okay.
rest of her life.
Yeah, for the rest of her
Dude,
life.
it's fucked.
Oh, and also, my favorite thing about the whole thing is that she wasn't actually in it. An actress was playing her the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, in the end, like,
Mhm.
but the girl that played like her
Did
asked
so
her
good.
so well. She even
Yeah.
cried at one point. Like,
Oh yeah, it's true.
yeah, I was like, dude, that's fucking crazy.
Did
And they're like,
so well.
Yeah.
like my fucking jaw dropped. It's like, oh, this was just an actress
Wait, but-
portraying her.
The son was that.
That was her real
Actual-
son.
That
Yeah.
was the real.
Okay, here's the thing that I noticed. I don't know if you guys noticed what was in the background of when the son was being interviewed.
What?
There was a YouTube silver play button,
You seen that?
and I was trying to find them, but I didn't know how. Like I didn't even know what to look up.
His name?
But he changed his name.
Mhm.
I'm guessing.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Because
I
or else
didn't really
Roberto
look
would-
in. I didn't look too
But-
hard, but
At
Yeah.
the
But
end,
that would have been crazy.
at the end, they talk about how like the whole reason she was hidden and stuff was because
Yeah.
she didn't want Roberto to find her
I'm trying
You
to
know.
take.
because he's still missing, and he thinks that she believes that he's actually dead. Do you guys think that he's actually dead?
He
Um,
might be.
But that's the other thing. At the end, they asked one of the ladies from Amsterdam, they're like, "Do you believe that she knows where he is?"
Yeah, and she's like
She said, "I think she knows."
100%
Yeah.
knows.
So that's the other thing. She's still like in love with this guy. Like,
I feel
Well,
like
maybe
some
'cause
Or she's
part
scared.
has to be.
She still has that shit over her, that sex magic shit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Like some part has to still feel like
well, maybe, or also the reason why she wasn't showing her face in the documentary is because she was out of safety. It said.
yeah. Well, yeah, from Roberto is what
Yeah.
I saw.
Wait, what if we search up like Roberto Solis now? Have they found them? I never searched that up.
I don't think they found them. They never found them.
What the hell? The first thing that comes out is Chef Roberto Solis.
Imagine that time you turned into a chef.
So it says he was born in 1945. So he should be around like 79 or 80.
Ollie.
Oh shoot.
Ollie.
What?
Look where the gatito is.
I know. Ran away from me.
Meow meow.
Well,
He
let's
didn't move.
see. She was released on parole in 2010.
Like a you know the plastic from the.
Then,
All right, so we're gonna get into the second story,
which is episode 3 and 4.
episode 3 and 4. This is a heist that happened in Miami, actually. With some
Yeah.
Cuban guy, the guy that started it all. His
Wait, hold
name-
on. Before guys, I haven't watched the episode, so this is all new to me.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So-
She hasn't seen this one or the one that I'm doing.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So make it good.
So this one is a heist that happened in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Some guy that escaped Cuba and then landed in Florida.
Yeah.
And his name is Carlos Monzon. So the guy met a woman and in Miami and well got with her. They got married and everything like that. And when he met his family, he was really close with her family. He was always a quiet person, really quiet person. He never got into trouble or anything like that. And one day he wanted to have kids with his wife, but his wife had so many miscarriages.
Yeah.
Where they tried and they decided to let's try to adopt a kid, right? But it was like $30,000 to adopt a kid. They didn't have that money yet. So what he decided to do is to rob a Brinks truck, right?
Yeah.
Not a Brinks truck, but like there's a place where he had a friend that worked at that where they would just drop off money in the garage. The door was always open. The security was kind of shit, so there was like
There are no guns, no?
no guns. Yeah, no guns. There's no guns were allowed in there.
Protecting the money, yeah.
Yeah, so you easily could just go. and
Wait,
run
what
out.
year was this?
This was in 2005. So, well, yeah. So he started planning a heist. He got her family involved. It was a guy named Pinky. Jeremy, no?
I don't remember.
But
But that was the uncle of his wife.
Yeah, he was fat as shit, so he couldn't.
No, the Jeffrey was the fat one.
Oh, Jeffrey was fat
That's
as shit.
the brother, no? The brother.
Yeah, it
of
was a brother of his wife.
Yeah.
And Pinky was the uncle of the girl. And he had some other people involved, which were like close friends and shit like that. And they all agreed, but he did ask one guy before, and the guy said no. Could keep that in mind. He asked one guy, the guy said no. All right. So they planned it out. They had planned it for a couple weeks, and then they found they knew a guy that could get him a car. They stole a car and guns, and they're just like a getaway driver. And they planned this time. Okay, you gotta be over here at this time, and then they planned it ahead. They end up getting the money. They got the money.
7 million.
7.4 million or 7.8.
Yeah.
They got the money to escape, and they all agreed not to spend the money, like keep it, and then
Wait, how many total were involved?
it was about 6.
Because it was the guy that worked at the place.
Guy at the work at the place.
What's his name? Carlos, whatever.
Carlos,
The Pinky, which is
Pinky. So it was
the
6 people.
uncle.
Yeah,
The guy that was looking out. The guy that was driving was Jeffrey, no?
yeah. And then
And
the guy
then-
that stole the car for them.
That gave the car, the fake car. Or no, it was a stolen car.
Stolen car. So yeah.
They used the stolen car to do it.
So they all got a cut from the money. They did it successfully with no cops involved
Yeah.
until they got involved, and then one of the guys dropped their mask, and they couldn't get DNA out of it. So there's like no chance. They had nothing, no hints. They had cameras set up, but the cameras didn't work inside the facility.
Crazy.
Yeah, so they escaped successfully. His wife didn't know, and her brother Jeffrey had to fuck it all up. So no one spent the money. Everybody they spend money, right? But they try to keep it at a really low minimum, like a really low key. and they won't get caught. They never got caught. And well, the guy Jeffrey, he said, "Fuck that." He went back. He went back to doing his old habits, doing drugs, drinking, going to strip clubs, spending his money on prostitutes and shit like that. So he blew it pretty quick. And then the guy Carl's found out that he was doing that, and he's like, he's gonna get us caught. So he had 2 friends that he sent to go like kidnap him and take his money and then bring it back to Carl's, whatever.
Yep.
And then he did. And well, that happened. They kidnapped him 3 times. The first time, it was the guys were chill about it. They kidnapped him. They gave him back the money. And then the second time, the guys found out that he had a lot of money.
But they tortured him. They moved his brain.
Yeah, that was the third time.
They like drilled in his head or something.
Well, that was the third time.
No, that was the second one.
The second time they drilled in his head. They fucked him up like crazy.
Bad. Yeah, he was like in a coma, I think.
Yeah, he was in a coma, and they put like a drill through his ear and shit. And
so this was all to teach him a lesson.
All to teach him a lesson.
So he wouldn't spend the money.
Yeah,
so he was just spending it recklessly.
Yeah,
but
the guys already knew he had money though.
Yeah, that was the
so
issue.
they would. And so what happened after they kidnapped him the second time? They asked his friend, the Carl's dude, for money. They're like, "What the fuck?"
That was
They're
the
like,
third one.
Yeah. Oh, that was the third one.
So it was the first one. Carl asked him to do it.
And the second time,
Then he went back, started spending the money again.
they kidnapped him.
They did it a second time. He asked him to do it too, and then the third time he didn't ask him to do it. They just did it because they knew that there was a lot of money
and money involved. So
Yeah.
they kidnapped him. And then third time, okay, we'll go back. Should we go back? No, that's clearly what happened, right?
Yeah, but in between that time, Carlos, whatever his name is,
Yeah.
he doesn't know that the cops already know it's him. They
Okay.
already, because someone snitched, which was.
Oh, okay. Let me go back. So the guy he had asked first to do the heist with him. The one that said no. Ratted him out.
Yeah.
Told him who it was. So after that, they had it all in. They went after the kidnapping was happening. They arrested Carl's first. His wife divorced him. They arrested Carl's first. Then after that, his wife got divorced. Months after.
Wait! You missed a huge part.
Where?
So they had kidnapped Jeffrey.
Yeah.
They told Carl's like, hey, if you want your brother-in-law back, you need to find us here and bring some money. Carl's was pissed, so he bought guns.
Yes, he bought guns.
He went over to find them, and then I don't know if he stopped somewhere or he reached the point where they were supposed to meet, and then the cops just raided him. And
Yeah, he was. Oh, he was getting out of the gun store.
Yeah,
Yeah, the gun
like
store,
that.
and then he was pissed, and he
Yeah.
went into the trunk to reach for a gun because he knew they were coming,
Yeah,
and the cops pulled up on him, and then they arrested him.
and then they went to rescue.
Yeah, so they put him in an interrogation room.
Yeah.
They said they didn't even say anything to him. They said, "Welcome to the FBI," and he was all confused. He's like, "You're gonna help us solve this because we want your brother-in-law back. Just help us with this."
Yeah.
And then he helped them out. Everything came out fine. They slowly started arresting all the other guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
they got all of them.
they got all of them. Except one they took a while to get.
Oh, yeah, 'cause he was running. He was on the run.
He was on the run. His name, the guy Pinky, he was on the run for 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah, so they got all of them. Jeffrey ended up he went to prison, and then 3 years shortly after he passed, he
Well, I
died.
think he died when he came out.
Shortly after, yeah. He died, and then Carl's never had kids. His wife divorced him. His wife after that had 5 more miscarriages.
What the fuck?
Remember
Really?
it says right there?
I thought it was just 2.
2 or 5?
I don't know.
Because I think she had 5 with Carl.
Really?
Yeah, it was like 5 with
Damn.
Carl's, and then then 2 after he left her with the other guys that she. No, then after two failed more miscarriages, she ended up having kids of her own.
2 kids, yeah.
2 kids of her own.
But
Carl's now is lonely, no kids. He
yeah,
likes skating though.
He cries in the documentary because like he talks about how he had everything. Because the whole thing
lost
is
it
kind
all.
of based around the American dream. and he talks about like his American dream was to have a house, a wife,
Kids.
and kids. He was missing the kids, which is why he did everything. But because he did all that, he ended up losing everything he had.
Yeah.
That just goes to show, like, you
It's
don't
not
want.
worth it.
Yeah.
The guy seems so chill though.
Yeah.
Carlos just seems so chill.
But the ending was the funny part.
Oh yeah, the
'Cause
money.
They
They ask everybody. You know where the money is?
They only found 1 million out of the 7.
Out of the 7. So most of some of the money went towards the strip club that guy was in.
Yeah, he wasted a lot of it.
A lot of there. And a lot of people say they don't know where that is. I feel like there's one that kind of gave it up. He's like,
Well,
I don't know where the money is. He's like,
Yeah.
and some guy's like, oh, the bills are expensive.
Yeah. They like
So-
laugh at the end.
Yeah. And one, except Carl's, I feel like he doesn't know where the money is.
I don't know.
Maybe,
Maybe.
but you never know. You never know. He could send it off to Cuba,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
where he's from. But yeah,
That's
one-
crazy.
that one's crazy. That one's a really good story.
Yeah, that one was probably my favorite out of the 3.
That is
Yeah.
my favorite because he did it because he wanted a child.
Yeah, he
He
wanted,
wanted a
family.
child.
He
He wanted a family.
But then, like, it just shows, like, how dumb the adoptive system is. Like, I mean, I
30
get
grand is fucking
it.
crazy.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
They don't charge now, right?
they do.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
what the
there's
fuck
so
are these
much
slaves or
fees.
some shit?
And then not
It's
only,
weird. I don't know how that works.
Not only
You have to pay
do
like
they
adoption fee,
charge-
like a
How do you
fucking dog.
price someone?
Yeah.
Yo, that's fucking.
Like, yo, this was pretty athletic. It's gonna cost a little bit more.
Do I hear 10,000? Do I hear 10,000?
Oh, imagine a bidding war.
I think it's
Bidding
just
war
so
for
sad.
kids.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can't.
Yeah.
Like, and then, like, the private adoptions are even more expensive because you're paying the birth mom.
They could have had a surrogate too. I just thought about
Yeah.
that.
So he could have done
I
it.
feel like there was other options, maybe.
Yeah, but
don't
I
know.
mean, he wanted the American dream, so the money and kids,
Yeah.
he wouldn't have to be worrying of like, oh,
But then if you already have something, why? Like, I
Where-
don't know. It just goes to show that people, we are, like, so unsatisfied.
yeah,
Yeah, sometimes you just. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Because he could have just kept it and, like, fostered or something.
True. Oh, foster. You have to pay for fostering, though.
No, you don't. You get paid, actually.
And then, let's say you want to adopt a kid, though. Then you have to
If
pay.
you do it through foster, I don't think
They charge,
so.
right?
I mean, yeah, there's
Because
still
my
adoption
aunt
fees.
for a long time, for like 2 years, 3 years, she fostered babies, and
Yeah.
she wanted to keep one. She wanted to adopt one.
Mm-hmm.
But because the mom was a drug addict, the dad was
Oh.
a drug addict too,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and the dad finally said, "Oh, I wanna be part of the baby's life." Like,
Oh.
and my aunt got sad because she wanted to
Yeah.
adopt the baby, but she's like, "I can't do nothing. It's not my kid."
No. It's the family's right comes first, which
Yeah.
that's what the foster system is all
Yeah.
about. But it sucks. The foster care sucks.
I would have fostered if I had a.
See,
Well, maybe in the future, but
but I just think I would get too attached. Like, I can't even foster a
Yeah.
kitten. Can you imagine like a whole human?
yeah, that's true.
So
Okay, and then we move on to episode 5 and 6. This one's called I think it's called the Bourbon King. Bourbon King. What? You thought I said Burger King?
Now you didn't say bourbon right in the beginning.
Oh, so Jesus Christ!
Bless you, Dad.
What the fuck?
Fuck.
I'm getting like a cough attack. I don't know what's going on.
I'm suicidal.
Oh shit!
Yo, what the fuck? My brother just sent me.
ew.
What is that? What the hell?
Yeah, that's my brother's fucking weird.
Okay, so the Bourbon King, basically, so it's about this guy named Toby
Keith.
Kurtzinger.
Kurt Singer. Yeah, there you go.
It's a white dude from
His story has a lot in there.
Frankfort, Kentucky.
Damn, my mom was like that earlier.
So there's some guy from Frankfort, Kentucky, worked in a whiskey factory
Okay, so
and played softball.
yeah, it kind of starts off with that. He played softball at like a
It's really
amateur
good.
level,
And he went to the gym,
which is where he met his wife,
shooting up
and he was shooting steroids. He would do steroids so that he could be good at softball.
softball, get more
Cause
power.
it was like huge. It was like a big thing in that community for some reason. So he also, he worked at this place called Buffalo Trace, which was a distillery, and they had whiskey, a bunch of whiskey and like bourbon, alcohol all over the place. And So, I just remember in the documentary he talks about how one day he just sees someone like take a bottle. So then he's like, well, like, are you not worried that you're gonna get in trouble? He's like, no, like we all do it. Like everybody takes, a bottle
Bottles.
here and there or whatever. So he started doing the same just to like have at home.
Yeah.
And one day,
He had a friend over. Are you struggling?
look what Enrique just asked me.
Yo.
Don't say it. Don't read it. That's so random.
What the
Let
fuck?
me see.
It says. Well, I mean, we're gonna
Out
cut
of
it out either way.
nowhere.
Why the fuck do you have a Taco Bell shirt on?
What the fuck? I just noticed that.
It's the comfiest shirt.
A
there
Taco
is.
Bell shirt.
It's
I want
crazy.
Taco Bell, no.
Okay,
That shit
so
does sound fire.
one day, the way the whole thing started is, so he works at this place and then he has all these bottles at home sometimes. One day a friend comes over.
Wait, he doesn't like whiskey actually.
Yeah, he actually doesn't really drink it, but he poured his friend one, and his friend's like, "Wow, this is like really good." He's like, "Do you have any more?" He's like, "Let me buy some off of you." He's like, "Well, I'm not gonna sell it to you. Like, here's 2 bottles." So he gave him 2 bottles.
Yeah.
The guy leaves. He comes back a couple days later with like cash. He's like, "Look, this is your like how much I made off of your thing, basically." So like instantly, it's like an instant rush of like, "Holy shit!" Like I just made probably like what he made in like a week there.
Yeah, he made
just
like
quick.
$1,000 in just 2 bottles.
Yeah, just like
Oh,
quick, because like
shoot.
it was very old bourbon. People wanted that like 20-year-old thing, so it was like there was a lot of hype around it.
Yeah.
That's when he realized how huge
crazy.
it was and how much people wanted that.
He didn't decide selling it before. Like he still didn't think of doing it until he kept getting like, oh, you have the good stuff for sure.
Oh.
Yeah, so then eventually, little by little, he starts grabbing more and more, and then he gets a couple people involved, start grabbing it for him, so he doesn't have to grab too much. He gives them his cut.
Sorry.
The fuck?
Sorry, I just wanted to see if still had Andrew take one.
No,
See it off?
it got deleted.
Somehow. Yeah.
So then, there's all these people involved. He's making a lot of money off of this.
Right?
And according to the documentary, he has this whole thing hidden from his wife. Like, his wife doesn't know anything.
Nothing.
And
Zero.
so according to the authorities, there was about $100,000 stolen in that stuff, which I think was resold for more, maybe. I don't know. So then one day, I believe, so he upgrades from bottles to barrels
Yeah.
of this stuff,
Start
like
stealing barrels.
big
like,
old barrels of this stuff.
when the factory's closed. Yeah.
And he's making money. He's selling it to like rich doctors, like rich politicians from the area, like all these super rich people. And they're all buying it and stuff. So then eventually there's an anonymous tip to the police. Someone basically snitches saying that he has all these barrels in the back. So they find out, like, I don't know, someone goes to do like some type of, what do you call it? At the place, like they go to do the numbers and find out like
the what's it called? The
inventory.
Inventory, yeah.
And they find out that there's a lot missing. So then they report it to the cops. The cops are investigating.
Yeah, but I'll tell you right now.
And then there's an anonymous tip saying like, hey, I know this guy that has all these barrels in the back of his yard.
But
So they go.
But the funny part though, they were investigating the bottles, the 270 bottles that went missing. It was actually from a guy that worked there that would hide them under the fucking factory
Yeah.
in a little spot, and then
Because
so-
he hadn't taken that many bottles.
yeah, and so they were investigating that, not even the barrels.
Yeah.
So it just came out of nowhere.
It came out of nowhere. So when they went to his house, and then you could smell the whiskey.
Oh.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So they found it. So the guy that was doing that, hiding all the bottles, he's the one that snitched on him.
Oh.
talking about whiskey. Do you have any here?
Sure, I do.
He
No, I
snitched on him, and then the cops showed up. They found the barrels. I think they waited for him to come home, or like his neighbors called him or something. He got home with his wife and I think his kids.
Yeah, they went back to
And-
the station with a warrant, so they just went in and started digging through shit.
Yes, yeah. They went through his house, like everything,
Destroyed
and then
it.
they arrested him and they arrested the wife too, out of like suspicion that she might know something.
Yeah.
I think they end up letting her go, but they have him, and yeah, he had 2 kids, a boy and a girl. So then the guy, his last name is Anglin,
Mhm.
the one that snitched on him,
Oh.
Like I never revealed his face.
and he ended up getting out free because he snitched and he admitted to stealing all these bottles.
Did he just smell you? And
Yeah. So then, so Toby and 9 others got indicted in 2015, and Toby was sentenced to 15 years in prison. But he was released in 2018 after serving just 30 days. So he just had to serve 1 month. That's it. The reason for that is because there's this thing in Kentucky. I don't know if it's still there at the time.
Yeah.
Called shock probation. Now, here's
Yeah.
what that means. So the only way you could get shock probation is if you're working or attending school full time. So this is you're only eligible for this if it's a non-violent crime, which in this situation is it.
Like no guns get involved in shit.
So if you're working or attending school, if you're paying child support or alimony, if you're staying away from people with criminal records, if you avoid bars or other disruptible places,
Yeah.
if you pay a lot of fines and costs, and you just stay out of trouble, and then you report to your probation officer once you're out.
Oh.
So
It's like being on parole type.
yeah, so apparently he got out after just 1 month.
Yeah.
He just had to serve 1 month.
Yeah.
And then his parole should have been done in 2023.
Oh. Okay.
So he's a free man. He should be a free man now. And in the documentary, his parents talk about it, his wife and his kids, because kids are now old.
Yeah.
And there's one point which I thought was kind of sad. The only time he cries is he says that he felt like he was a bad father for that. But his kids tell him that like everybody makes mistakes.
That.
Yeah, and then he distanced himself from his wife. Like his wife didn't trust him, so
Yeah.
they didn't divorce.
Yeah.
But she's like, I'll stay with you, but I need to regain your trust. It's not gonna be the same until I regain your trust.
Yeah.
Which was
No,
good.
that's understandable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's understandable.
But eventually, yeah, like they show a lot of like their life once he gets out.
Yeah.
They go back to living like a family. They're opening Christmas gifts and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean the kids talk on there and they talk about how
I mean,
they still love their dad obviously.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
they
sure
don't
enough
judge
for-
him off of that one mistake.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean apparently it's still nowadays it's still so hard to find this whiskey bourbon.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Should we order one?
Like it's super expensive.
it would be funny if we, well,
It's
you
called
Pappy
guys,
Gate.
not me,
That's what
Why?
it's called.
try
It's called
Oh.
Pappy Gate.
Peppy Gate.
She's talking about the show.
But it's apparently like nowadays it's still very expensive. It's rare to find a bottle.
Imagine when we become somewhat successful, we should get that whiskey.
Just take shots. Or just like drink up.
And
And then yeah, I mean apparently he's a painter now. Like that's what he dedicated.
Yeah.
He doesn't work for obviously he doesn't work for that place no more.
I'm
But
sure
yeah,
they-
it seems
I'm
like
sure
they
they
have a
fired him.
normal, regular suburban life or whatever.
Yeah.
no, I think I don't know. I think out of the 3, the last one was my favorite.
No way.
The thing,
Yeah.
oh wait, I forgot to mention this is the reason he also got into that was because his wife made him leave softball
Oh yeah.
So
'Cause he played-
because that was his hobby.
I was
So
gonna
work,
say-
softball, home,
Steroids.
yeah, but they had kids,
Yeah.
so she needed help in the
How the
house.
fuck
you
was
know?
he able to have kids?
Huh?
Probably not those steroids in.
I don't know.
It
dude.
happens.
They're probably strong too.
Yeah.
They just come out bulked up and shit. Looking
So-
like Dwayne Johnson.
So yeah, that's what ends up.
So it was
happening.
basically his hobby to do
It
that.
became a hobby, yeah.
and
He would only do it like at night, I think. I don't know. It seemed like it was like
Ah.
sketchy nighttime thing.
Shit.
But yeah, like he
Like he
stopped
was like a
playing
prostitute
softball.
with whiskey.
Yeah, he stopped playing softball.
Yeah, but yeah.
I mean, I think he got it the least worst out of everybody.
Yeah, oh for sure, guarantee. I don't know. I don't
well,
think.
yeah, obviously he only got a month in prison.
Yeah, it was a. I don't really call it a heist though.
I
It's good, but
see it being a heist, but I don't think it's like
it's like it should be in a TV.
right, like compared to the other ones. Well, I
Yeah.
guess it's in there because it's just something you don't think about, like
Yeah, that's true.
you know,
Yeah,
Like,
because
it's
most
a-
people steal money.
right?
Like Enrique steals chicken bowls, and we haven't reported them to the law enforcement.
But yeah, I mean that was the whole show. I do recommend watching it. It's like half documentary, half
Like acting,
Yeah, it's pretty
recreating
good.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
recreating it with
it's pretty
actors
cool.
and
You guys should watch
just
Quarterbacks.
good stories. No, don't watch that shit.
That's boring.
And it's not boring, but it's only like if you specifically love football, I guess.
All right.
It's okay.
Oh, watch Game 7. It's another Netflix TV shows about like the craziest game sevens in sports history.
Wait, I saw that on Prime.
Oh, it's on Prime?
Yeah.
Fuck. All right. Well.
But yeah, that was it.
Thanks for listening,
teach
everybody.
a lesson. Don't steal.
Should I do it fast?
Yeah, no
Yeah,
stealing.
don't steal.
Don't steal. Only steal girls' hearts.
All right.
Goodbye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye, guys.